is cooking on high.
What up? This is Rama Screen at the famous Stage 13. Today for one of my favorite new Netflix shows, because I love weed, as you all know. It's Cooking on High, and I'm here with Chef Brady. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm
Good.
having a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. Now I've seen a few episodes of this season 1. Big fan of the show.
My episodes, hopefully.
So talk a bit about what drew you to this gig.
Well, honestly, weed. for first off, I mean, come on. So I met the production team, and I had the weirdest, funniest story, and the guy saw my chef logo. So kind of a rock star chef logo, pretty cool. Anyway, he's like, "Oh, you're a chef. I make chef stars," and I'm like, "Fuck, excuse me," but I'm like, "Please, dude, like, please, man, make me a star." So then we went with Stage 13, and we did the pilot episode. They loved it, and then we went and got luckily enough to do it on Netflix and cooking savory food. And I think that was really what got me, was like, dude, we're not doing sweets. We want to do savory foods. And I was like, yes, this is something I've actually done before, something that I know the game is going to go into this. So yeah, it was super cool.
So talk a bit about the food that you've made also for this show. What kind of gourmet did you already have? For my fans who haven't seen the show.
Okay. So what's cool is that you didn't get to see the pilot episode, I'm branding myself as like an aphrodisiac chef. Like I'll put like chocolate and salmon and do this crazy stuff. But one of my things that got us on the show was I call it a New York steak bite with a fresh blueberry and spicy harissa. You marinate it in dill and parsley and garlic, and you put a fresh blueberry and some spicy harissa. And for my Moroccan food lovers, I mean, the food is just amazing. It's this really nice square. Put a toothpick in it. It's a perfect hors d'oeuvre, spicy like I love. And but going into the show, the first episode was my breakfast kebab. And so I made like Belgian waffle, fried chicken. I fried up some bacon and some peppers, and I made like an inch thick cheese frittata, made some maple weed butter. And like I really went the 9 yards and wanted to do something completely different. And I've never heard of a breakfast kebab, especially that elaborate with all these different foods on it, you know. One of the next ones I did was a half-pound lamb meatloaf burger stuffed with weed butter and sauteed mushrooms and everything. I mean, zucchini fries. That one came out really good. And the next one was I did a kind of a Mediterranean dish. I did stuffed grape leaves with a tzatziki peppers, and I did a cucumber salad. I mean, it was all trying to go out of the box as much as I could, you know.
I want to ask, what is the goal? Is it to make sure that the food or the weed, you can't taste the weed in the food? Is that the goal for you?
Well, for me especially, so I love weed, love eating weed, love smoking weed, love doing all that. But the nostalgia behind eating weed, you know, is, I can taste it. It's an earthy umami flavor, and most people don't like that. And another thing behind eating weed is you have hallucinations, you can feel sick, you super body highs, but it's all how you cook it. It's all how you make your butters and your oils and everything. So using a super low CBD count or a super low THC count, you can get that full body high. And I prefer hybrids because you get the head high and the body high. You know, go indica dominant, so you have this like good body head high, so you're just floating instead of like sunken down. You know, so, and it's the additives that you put in it. You know, you can brown your butter so you can kind of mask some of that weed taste. It's the additives, the sugars, the things that you use in your foods, and mixing it in. It's how you cook it, how you bake it, how you saute it, how you fry it, how you do anything. You know, so it's how you do it. And a lot of these other chefs on the show, they won because you can actually taste the weed. And I was like, nah, man, fuck, you can't taste the weed in my food, but you're going to get super stoned. Like I was literally scraping the bowl of everything and use all of the weed oil, all of the weed butter, but you couldn't taste it. And that's the whole trick behind it, is getting people to taste food, not the weed.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm very passionate about weed, and I'm glad that we are in a time and era when finally people are embracing it. I guess it's better late than never. Especially the positive impacts that it has for children with epilepsy and all the medicinal stuff. Can you talk a bit about that aspect of weed?
So weed, so for me, earlier this year, I'm a personal chef, so I would have to take tests, and so I stopped smoking for a while. But it's funny, I go to my doctor and I'm like, man, when I was smoking weed, I was eating better, healthier. I was sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, feel like I slept 20 hours, felt great. Really? When I stopped smoking weed, I'm sleeping 9 or 10 hours a night. I'm not eating properly, if I even eat during the day. My stomach changed, my digestion changed, everything. So with the health purposes, the medicinal purposes behind THC and CBDs, it helps athletes, it helps eating, it helps sleeping, it helps joints, bones, everything you can do. It's such a perfect thing, but the FDA is behind a lot of it, where they don't want things like this to come out because they're going to lose money on actual prescriptions. And what we want is natural things that come from the earth, things that are healthier for your body. You can get into psychosis, you can get into so many things that this is so good for. ADHD, ADD. We're going to stop using medications. Yeah, FDA is going to lose a lot of money, but people are going to be healthier, and we want healthier human beings. We want natural products. We want things that, and soon athletes are going to be able to start using this. It's great because they want the recovery time to cut in half. You know what I mean? They want to actually heal their bodies better. So the whole nostalgia behind weed is like it's not the past anymore. You know what I mean? Where the newer generation is really getting into and showing the people that weed has so many great benefits. And like I've been saying in all my interviews, like this company MedMen, they're getting rid of that nostalgia and like showing these big billboards of like an 80-year-old woman, and it'll say stoner, and it'll cross it out, no, grandma, and it'll say like pothead, and it'll be like full on buff athlete. You know what I mean? And so get rid of that nostalgia of this is what a stoner looks like. And no, stoners are they're head CEOs of companies. Stoners are everybody and anybody. So let's get rid of the past. Let's go literally dive right into the future of what we are and who we're becoming, and really like using weed for great purposes. It's just presidents are going to be able to smoke it soon. Everything's changing. Yeah, everything's going to change with this. So,
as I'm winding down to my final questions, forgive my ignorance, but are there restaurants out there that have gourmet weed food on their menu?
So CBD is what everyone's able to use now. It's not really super mainstream. A lot of pop-ups are coming up because there's still like the thing behind the THC. CBDs are the healthier accounts of it. But yeah, you can find pop-ups soon. They're going to have cafes and everything. And my whole thing is I really want to have a cafe with all weed products, hemp products. And just there's so many things that can be done with this. I mean, just on the show, you see all these great chefs cooking stuff that you would never even dream of with weed, So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. So
I hope that happens for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, with your help, it will. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Also, my final question is, what's your advice to my viewers who are probably aspiring chefs, not just about cooking, food with weed, but just cooking food in general to become successful as you are?
As I always say, I'm almost famous. I'm not successful. I'm still in I call it, instead of 15 minutes, I have 15 seconds of fame. I'm still in the lower seconds. Yeah, I've done some cool things, and but I never stop. I never stop learning. I never stop trying. I never stop doing. Even a snail's pace is better than no pace. Constantly create your own content. And as a friend told me, and I'm not one for social media. I love being in front of the camera, but I was just never one to like take pictures or post my stuff until this year, and all my friends were like, dude, you have to. We're in an internet, social media era, and if you want to be seen and if you want to go up in the world, you got to post every day. And so, I'm really getting into posting every day, even if it's something funny or something, because I'm trying to brand myself as a lifestyle, brand, not just a chef or not just a philanthropist, because I have so much more about me than just, meets the eye or just chef, So be all you can be, do as much as you can, go out of the box, experiment, try. Work in restaurants to get that experience, work in catering company to get that experience, go to agencies and try to become a personal chef or your own catering, or, experiment, go on YouTube. Josh Leva, the host of the show, he's like millions of fans on the show, so like the guy, he's all on all the time. I mean, so, just do it, put content out there and just change the world for the better, and do your best. That's all anyone can ask. So, you never know.
Chef Brady, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on Cooking on High.
Thank you so much.
It's Cooking on High.